Welcome to EDL 600 Module 1 Liability for Student Injuries. Of course, we are in the business of students, so it's so important to know all of the laws that go around students and the injuries that could happen on your campus. Our goal always is to keep our students safe. So what I'm going to discuss is the liability pieces of it, the law, as well as if a child does sue for negligence, why? So the law states that there is a duty of care. Educators have a duty not to injure their students to protect them from known or foreseeable dangers. Of course, that seems very simple. Students come to class and we do our best to ensure that they are safe. But there are times when you're on a field trip, when you are in different areas of the school where there's sports, there is many opportunities for children to get hurt. That's just the reality of it. So our goal is always to keep everybody safe. So where's the negligence? That's the first thing we're going to look at is where is the negligence? And it's determined that others are negligent when they fail to act as a hypothetical, reasonable, prudent teacher, an RPT. And I'm going to focus on teachers, but of course, always know that there's staff that's really goes all the way to staff, any staff member on your campus. So the RPT should have acted under circumstances. And what that means is it should determine whether teacher acted as an RPT, whether their behavior is measured against the professional norms of prudent teachers. Did they act as an RPT? Were they not negligent? Those would be the questions that would come up. When circumstances are more dangerous, was the environment safe, such as field trips, chemistry class, or working with children? An RPT should provide clear meanings to and closer supervision of students. Did the injury occur because of negligence? So that's a big one right there. We're always looking, did it happen because there was negligence? So the plaintiff or injured student must prove not only that the defendant teacher who's being sued is negligent, but also that the negligence caused the injury. Plaintiffs usually sue for a dollar amount for medical expenses, lost wages, or pain and suffering to compensate for their injury. When a teacher is sued or anyone on your campus, we do have liability insurance. So usually when they sue, it does not go straight to the staff member. But there are cases where students will sue civilly, and that is also a different format of doing that. But if a child does sue, we do have insurance, and it is covered usually through the district. Another question is, was there contributory negligence? Adults and most high school students are expected to exercise ordinary reasonable care and to expose themselves to not to expose themselves to known or obvious dangers. Therefore, in most states, if an injured person's own negligence contributed to her injury, courts would usually reduce the amount of the award to the injured person in proportion to her negligence. For example, an older student might have her award reduced 40% if the judge concluded that she was 40% responsible for her own injury. However, if she was primarily responsible for her injury, more than 50%, she would probably receive no award. Now I'm going to give you the scenario. Just before Miss Busy returned to her classroom after duplicating worksheets for 10 minutes, a student threw a baseball from the playground and shattered a window and sprayed glass that blinded a student's eye. Was the teacher liable? Now this one's a little tricky because the teacher wasn't there, but the teacher left the children alone. So that right there is a little tricky, but would the teacher have been able to do anything to stop the baseball from hitting the child, from the glass, hitting the child's eye? Most likely not. So this one, the judge would have to decide who was negligent and why, which I think he would lean towards that there was an accident. There was no negligence on anyone's part, unless there was just a student outside just throwing baseballs and nobody's watching that student. So for your scenarios activity, you're going to review each case from the PDF. In a post, you're going to share your reflection and respond to other peers, and just always be prepared to defend the case.